Hey there. Welcome to my podcast, the School Cop Channel Podcast. I'm Captain OG. Parents, let's talk about something crazy and it's happening in the schools and it's happening right under your nose. Answer me this. Did you get a call from the school principal, Mrs. Jones? We need you to come to the school and please explain why little Tanya smells like she just smoked a blunt. Why does her whole book bag smell like somebody carried a pound of marijuana in it and not the good stuff? I cannot wait to hear what your explanation is going to be or to see the look on your face as you try to figure out what to say next. Especially since there's a school cop sitting there in the office looking at you while you're trying to come up with a good excuse. On a different note, Mom and Dad, you just got a call from the high school. Your son is in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. They found him passed out in the restroom, a vape next to him, and inside that vape was THC, not nicotine. What is your reaction going to be when you get to that hospital? Today on School Cop Channel Podcast, we're going to talk about all things dealing with drugs, students, and law-related issues. Let's learn a little bit about what happens when kids, schools, and drugs have blown up your family life. Now, alcohol and drugs in the home. Remember, parents, if a child's house is a wreck, then that child's life is going to be a wreck. Also, think about it that in every house where mom and dad loves to drink, loves to smoke fatties, and on the side, a couple of little marijuana cigarettes, they have children in that house. This is going to look normal to them, and as you know, kids are going to emulate and imitate what they see. So parents, don't be surprised if you get a call from the school that your child brought alcohol or drugs to school, and they got caught with it in their pockets or their purse or their book bags. Because remember, they imitate what they see. Now, do you realize 11% of all 8th graders have tried marijuana or alcohol? 20% of all 10th graders have tried marijuana or alcohol. Crazy, isn't it? And 31% of all high school seniors and students have tried marijuana or drank alcohol. Crazy, but true. And teens with mental health issues or mental health disorders, they are likely to have tried some form of illegal drugs. Now, fentanyl. Fentanyl is the third leading killer of teenagers in America today. These kids have no idea what they're buying on the street or what their friends are giving to them. They have no idea. And the parents probably have no idea what's going on with their kids in the house or either in the neighborhood. Where are the kids when they're not at home? Remember, parents, if your child ain't home before dark, obviously they're out there looking for trouble, and fentanyl is major trouble. So, before we continue, here's a brief message from my sponsor, Highway 55 Burger and Fries in Lexington. Jay and all the good folks over there. Are you looking for a good fast food restaurant with a family atmosphere and prices to please? Then come on out to Highway 55 at 1792 South Lake Drive. The food is delicious and the service is friendly and fast. Say hey to the owner Jay if you stop by. Highway 55. Welcome back. Now, we know some teens are not good at talking to parents or giving parents straight answers when they're asked questions. So how do you know if your child is using drugs or alcohol? Let's take a look at some of the signs. Is your child hostile or irritable? Does your child skip school or has his or her grades started to slip? Is your child relationship with the family deteriorating? You all just don't talk anymore? They come home and go straight to their room or straight back out the door? Parents and teachers, has that student all of a sudden been hanging out with a different circle of friends and not the good ones either? Mom and dad, has money all of a sudden started missing from your wallet or your purse? Does your student stay up all night? Sleep during the day for no reason? Their sleep pattern is just crazy? Parents and educators, it's okay to definitely question kids about these different changes in their behavior. Now, why do students and kids use drugs and alcohol? We already said the home environment, if drugs and alcohol are used freely at home, then that child or student is going to have that in their mind. That's because they feel they can use it freely. And our kids are our clones. They're going to imitate and emulate what they see us doing. Now, another reason kids use drugs and alcohol, peer pressure. Being a teen is tough enough, but peer pressure, it just means kids want to be loved. They want to fit in with friends. Even the bad friends, they feel the pressure of not being a part of a group. And as we know, some teens have mental depression, anxiety. These things can make a child want to use drugs and alcohol just to escape the daily grind. They want to feel good, even if just for a few minutes. Some kids use drugs and alcohol because of low self-esteem, as well as issues such as weight problems, eating disorders, or academic struggles. They just cannot make that B or that A. And as we know, school can be a stressful situation for kids, and this is just an alternative way for them to hopefully do better in their home and school life. The final factor is simply genetics. If a child is born in a house full of drug addicts and drunks, then that child is prone to get stuck in the same mold. Parents, we have got to do better. Parents and educators, we know what the risk factors are, and because a student brain is not fully developed, drugs and alcohol will definitely stunt the development of that child's physical and mental and emotionally. And of course, the worst end result is death, because kids are buying drugs on the street, have no idea what they're buying, and fentanyl is everywhere and it is cheap to buy. Officers do their best to try to keep drugs off the streets and out of the schools and stop trafficking of drugs daily. But it's like swimming upstream. It's not an easy thing to combat. That's why it takes mom and dad at home to be the first line of defense to protect their child against illegal drugs and the abuse of alcohol. Now, how do we prevent drugs and alcohol abuse? Parents and educators, be good role models. Someone kids can look up to and want to emulate. And it's very easy to do. Parents, talk to your kids. It is so easy to talk to your kids. Play with your kids. Be there for your kids. Keep that line of communications open. There is nothing that you can't talk to your child about, and should be nothing that your child cannot talk to you about. This is creating a good, safe home environment. Parents, promote good, healthy friendships with your students. Also, know your child's friends. If you see your child hanging out at the corner with Pookie and Junebug, around the way with Bokisha, you may want to get your child away from them, because that is not promoting a good, healthy child friendship. Take my word for it. And lastly, do not ignore those signs that we spoke about earlier in the beginning of this program. You should be able to pick up on these easily if you know your child. But parents who don't pay attention to their kids, they're going to miss all the signs. And then when they get that call from the school or the hospital, it's at that point they think about, did I miss a sign? Before we wrap this up, here's a brief message from my sponsor, Bucks Frame and Alignment and Auto Sales on Edmond Highway in Lexington. Go by and see these people if you need a good deal on a very nice used vehicle. Looking for a good, dependable used car? Then come see us at Bucks Frame and Alignment and Auto Sales. Talk to Marilyn. If you have credit issues, just have your down payment and drive away in a beautiful car today. We're on Edmonds Highway, and we're here to work with you. Drive away in a beautiful car today. Bucks Frame and Alignment and Auto Sales on Hey there, and welcome back. Let's talk about the legal issues you'll run into when kids are using drugs and alcohol. Parents, at the middle school, high school level, if your child is caught with vapes containing THC or any other illegal drugs, they will be charged, possibly arrested. The school admin will suspend your child, and he or she will probably go to the hearing board and face suspension and having to find an alternative school to attend. Your child will also be mandated by a judge to attend a drug and alcohol prevention class to help them with this issue. Parents, remember, any child having illegal drugs in school can be charged and sent to family court. If the child is 12 years or older, that child will be charged via citation and have to face family court. Kids under 12, of course, they will be charged, but they will be released to the parents and have to show up in family court later. Parents have to make sure that child shows up on their court date. Any student caught trafficking drugs in school or selling drugs to other students If they are 12 years and older, they can face being arrested. Trafficking drugs in school or bringing drugs to sell to other students is major. That student can also say goodbye to that school because I'm sure the district will probably not let them return. So they'll have to find some alternative educational placement. In any case, parents, this puts a lot of stress on students. Being a teen is already a tough job. Sometimes it's hard for them to recover from these things. So please pay attention to your child, guide them in the right direction, and be open and creative with your kids. Create that loving, healthy, clean living environment. And parents, on a side note, if you show up and your car door is open and a beer can falls out of that car, you got some explaining to do. By the same token, in that car line, if a teacher or officer opened that door for your child to get out and all they smell is marijuana, guess what? You got some explaining to do again. There is no real excuse for these things to happen. I've had it happen, and I'm sure others have too. So let's cut that out. And in closing, everything starts at home. So let's keep our home environment clean and healthy for our kids. Can we do that? Once again, I'm Captain OG. I'm 1042. Out.